Texas Prison Story family, salute y'all. Good evening. I have a special video here for you. I have actually my favorite YouTube channel content creator here come bless my game and sat down with on Texas Prison Stories. This man's channel, y'all, is unbelievable. You have to actually start from episode one, day one, and watch them in order. And I swear you will never see anything like this in your life. You will almost think it's unbelievable and made up. And that's how crazy Texas prisons were back then. But everything he's saying is true. And it's just something that you have to see for yourself. We'll talk a little bit about that today. But we actually have with us today, y'all, Dr. Larry from 42 Straight Years In channel. How you doing, Dr. Larry?
Good morning.
Morning, bro, man. Thank you so much, man. Listen, you've how long have you had your channel now, Dr. Larry?
I've had it for a little bit over 5 months.
Over 5 months, y'all. Listen, we're looking at a man right here who is amazing. He's monetized the channel, and he's at 4,500 subscribers. Oh man, probably 250,000 views in 5 months. That's how exciting his channel is. You know what? You have some of the most loyal, faithful followers that I've seen. They really like you. You know what I mean? And not only is he doing this, y'all, but Dr. Larry is the man that helped me start this channel. He's actually the third video on Texas Prison Stories ever is Dr. Larry. Yeah, so if you're subscribed to this channel, where we're at about 21,000 right now, we need all of y'all to back out, subscribe to 42 Straight Years In. I'm actually going to put the card right here, being up top, and then you can click that. And then the other cards will be linked to Dr. Larry's videos, y'all. Make sure you do not leave this channel without subscribing to him. It's very important to us, y'all, because he helped get this one going. So, Dr. Larry, I'm going to start off asking this. Obviously, you did 42 straight years in, right?
That's correct.
How old were you when you started, sir?
I was 22.
Oh, wow, 22 years old. What was your crime?
Murder. It was capital murder. They reduced it to murder.
Capital murder, what's that?
And the punishment was death.
Oh, man. So you had a death penalty case?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
The DA came back and said he wasn't going to seek the death penalty, so he reduced the capital murder.
Did you say why? Was that your first ever arrest, first offense, because you were young, or what?
First arrest, and due to the evidence in the case, it would have been hard for him to prove capital murder because even though the guy was a police officer, he wasn't on duty and he wasn't in a uniform.
Oh, see.
He's just a regular person because he never announced to me that he was a police officer. He never said.
Right. And in the state of Texas, if you kill a police officer, that's automatically capital murder death penalty, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so that was a big factor then. Okay. So that actually was your first arrest in life, was murder?
That's correct.
Wow. Man. That's like a blowaway right there, man. That's after you served 42 years in, how many times did you see a man whose first arrest was a murder?
There's some guys on death row in Texas. That's their first offense, and they got the death penalty. They never been to prison, never been incarcerated before, and they got the death penalty.
Are there really some guys?
Most guys on death row are first offenders.
Wow, man, I had no idea. Oh my God, that's amazing. So yeah, that's wild. So it's 22 years old, capital murder. First thing they tell you, death penalty case. What'd you think? I mean, when you're in there, did you get a bond? Were you able to make bond, go home, or did you have to sit in the county? What happened?
No, at first they set the bond $500,000. So we were gonna try to make the bond. They went up to $1 million. And then they came back. No, this is a capital case. No bond.
No bond. Yeah. When they dropped it back down from the Capitol, did you ever? I mean, listen, man, we know how it was back then. Most people will never be able to afford a murder bond, but they give you one. Were you ever to make it, or was that your last day of freedom? Is what I'm asking.
That's my last day of freedom.
That was your last day of freedom. That very last moment, then, huh? When you were when you were getting arrested, that moment. I mean, did they arrest you right there on the spot? What happened? Like, did you run? Did you were gone?
No, I was arrested 31 days.
31 days later. Damn. So they had to figure out they were investigating and stuff.
Yes.
When when you got arrested, did you realize then that that was going to be your last day of freedom for so long, or did you think you're going to beat this?
I thought I would beat the case. Well, you normally gonna think you're gonna beat the case if you ain't never been through the judicial system. You don't know how it works. But in 1975, it was a wrap. You was out of there.
Especially being a black man and everything too. Was it a white officer?
He's white. I would have had the same case with the president and vice. I probably would have been acquitted.
Damn, man.
Left the charge. I would have been murdered.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I don't want to go into a lot of like incidents that happen and stuff like that, but we know 9 times out of 10, if you get arrested for dealing with killing a cop, you're gonna have a rough time in the county jail sometimes. You know, how was your stay in the county? Were they making it rough on you because you killed an officer, or were they kind of leaving you alone, or how was that?
Now Dallas County, the jailers are not violent. It's the inmates that were violent during that time. You didn't have to worry. You're not gonna get beat up in Dallas County. You got to worry about the inmates, not the.
When you went in as a 22-year-old man, I wanted to ask you this when I first met you, but I didn't know really how to ask you. And honestly, Mr. Dr. Larry, and I'm sorry I call you Mr. Larry. When I first met you, your story was so intense. It was overwhelming me myself, man. You know what I mean? Like I can imagine what it would do to some of these viewers because me personally, I'm like, wow, the shit you're telling me is flooring me. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. I want to ask you some questions though. Like, listen, when you hit that county jail when you were 22, what were those politics like back then? I remember you told me blacks and whites would smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. Were in that county, was there like a tank boss running it back then, or was everybody kicking it? What was happening in the 70s county jail?
We have a tank sportsman. He's a spokesman. Now, what he would do if you have a problem, you need to go to medical or something. The reason why Dallas County was ran like it was is to keep down the snitching. So only one person can go talk to the guard. You couldn't go to the guard. If you had a problem, you tell that guy, and he talked to the guard for you. If you don't.
Nice. So basically, yeah, nobody's speaking to the officers but him, and probably somebody's listening to him while he's talking to the officer, right? That's convict. That's a little bit how the federal system was, where in the feds, one man can't go talk to an officer. He has to take his friend with him. You know what I mean? So that was cool. That's how they were doing it then. Were your cells integrated, or were y'all still all black?
It was segregated.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. When you first went to prison, you caught chain and left from Dallas County Jail, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I had got to change the venue from Dallas County, Smith County. After the trial in Smith County, automatically going to transfer me back to Dallas County. I was never final sentence. They was in such a hurry to get me in prison. I never was final sentence. They brought me back. The case was all screwed up. They brought me back and then final sentencing. But I was sent to prison without being final sentenced. They convicted me in Smith County, transferred me back to Dallas County. 3 days later, I was on the blue diagnostic unit.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you said that you said that, and somebody questioned like, how is that even possible? But listen, that actually did happen to my brother that was serving his 50. He got non-final sentence and tried to use that as an appeal, and it didn't work. It didn't help. They said, well, you were still found guilty. It didn't affect your sentence or hearing, and they re-sentenced him like they did you, I believe. The same thing. They just send you back and make it official. Yeah, so I know that's true because it actually happened to my own blood brother. And this is you know how I've been rocking my channel. This is one of the most important questions I want to ask you, Dr. Lay, because there's so many people that look up to you, man, and they look up to you for multiple reasons, and I do too. One is because you're so smart, you're intelligent as hell, you're a PhD, okay? Two, you rock 42 years, no gang, independent, doing things by yourself, man. Not easy. But I need you to tell me, how did it feel leaving out that county jail, man? Because I don't care how hard you are, tough you are, who you killed, what you're gonna do. Was it scary, man? Like, I mean, are you going like, what the fuck, man? Because I know I was, Larry. When I left in Chain, I think everybody is. Can you tell us, are you so tough and hard that you weren't even scared, or were you nervous, man?
It was so many. See, back in the day, PDC came and picked you up with their own chain bus. A lot of people don't know that. They have chain buses go all over the state of Texas picking guys up. Now, if you from West Texas, they would transfer you closer inside to another county jail, and they prison bus will pick you up. You'd actually ride with real prison guards, not from your county. So I would see so much change, so it wasn't no big deal. Then me, I would question guys at night. After we get through fighting and boxing and gambling and all that, we sit around and talk. And I would ask guys been to prison. They've been to prison, which during that time they only had 14 prisons in Texas. And I would talk about that million questions about prison is like. They actually prepare you for prison if you listen to them. So they done dealt with these wardens, they done dealt with building tenders, or which were inmate guards during that time. They done dealt with all this. So I would actually sit and listen at these guys, and they basically would tell you how to handle yourself in a prison. In Dallas County Jail, if you didn't know how to fight, these guys teach you how to fight. You be in top physical shape when you make the prison. Guess all we do is work out all day and all night. We work out. They didn't have no TV.
So hold on, let me ask you something. That's why them boys out of Dallas was so damn bad always. Y'all was in there boxing, training, turning TVs off, getting ready for TDC for real?
You had when you first got in Dallas County Jail, you had to fight. They bring you up by 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, all over cracked up. And somebody gonna holler out, who the hell is that coming in? You tell them who you is. Somebody probably gonna say, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna look at you in the morning. They don't even know you. They try to put you in a tank according to what area of Dallas you was from. You from South, put you with all South Dallas guys. They went by areas of Dallas. There was no game back then. And DP breakfast, get through cleaning up. The fight is on. They try to match you up with a guy about your size.
So they was hard checking in the damn county jail back then. Real talk, wow.
Well, if you didn't fight, you was gonna be a Maytag. You wasn't gonna eat, and you gonna have your
hug. Tell them what a Maytag is, Dr. Larry.
Maytag is the one who wash these guys' underwear and socks. You wash their boxes and socks.
You're gonna be the wash machine, won't you, man?
You're gonna take all your money if you got any money. So you gonna be in a tank. I was lucky when I go in, because I go to South Dallas. So I got put in South Dallas tank, even though I lived in Oak Cliff. But I hung out in South Dallas. I played basketball. So a lot of guys knew me when I came in. I was fortunate enough to get in the tank with guys who I knew from South Dallas.
Oh, so you did that were actually guys that you personally knew in there?
Yes. So I still had to fight regardless. They asked me, you got to fight, you got to box. And they match you up with a guy about your size. If you lose, it ain't no big deal. It's how you couldn't go screaming for mama, hollering for God, and I give up and all that. So you can't whoop everybody, but you must fight back.
Absolutely. And that's currently 2020 how it is nowadays. That's the rules, man. You don't gotta win, you gotta fight back. That's it. Don't weak up. So check this out. When you got in there at 22 and you seen these guys that you knew, guaranteeing a bunch of them were going home and you weren't. You know what I mean?
The tank I was in, there was no going home. Everybody in that case had a robbery and murder, had an accident. They wasn't going nowhere. Guys and everything, and all that going nowhere.
So you weren't probably the worst tank they had in there then.
Correct. When you go in Dallas County for violence, they put you with violent inmates.
Right. That's how Galveston was too. And let me say something. I can say that I personally Mr. Larry, Dr. Larry, I'm sorry, man. Please forgive me. I don't mean that with no disrespect because I love you, man. I'm just used to saying Mr. Larry because you're an older fellow and I love you. Anyway, I'm sorry. Dr. Larry. When I first was young, I went into a non-aggravated tank in the county. It was kind of cool. Next trip, went into an aggravated tank and everybody was going 25s and shit and we fought nonstop, man. In the same building, so on the other side of a wall, it can be so different worlds. You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand. Like, man, you can be in this little maximum security world or a minimum security world. So you basically, from the day you started, you were maximum fucking security in there with the guys not going home, huh?
That's, I go home out of that thing.
Damn. Uh, okay. I want to ask you something too about that then. Adjusting to it. How long did you stay in the county with that?
They took me fast. I was there 8 months and I was in court.
Shit. 8 months and you was in court.
Yeah.
And already gone. And how long till it was Rap City, arrests and in prison?
8 months.
Damn, 8 months. So wow, you didn't even have time to contemplate your life barely. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so listen. First chain bus. They pulled Dr. Larry out of the county. Do you leave by yourself or does some friends come with you?
Things on who already got final sentence.
Well, I mean, that day when you left, did somebody from South Dallas you knew come on that bus? Like, come on, Larry, we going together.
Yes.
They did. Me too. My partner, little Vic, came with me, and that made it feel a little bit different. Where'd y'all go? First place diagnostics back then?
It's bird unit now. It was called diagnostics back then.
And what would they do to you back then? Like, what was diagnostics like back then, Larry? Because it's different now, I guess. I don't know. What did they do to y'all?
Well, it'd be a major, meet you at the bus. They count everybody off, make sure they got everybody's name and all their paperwork, and they take you inside, and that's the first time you get to see inmate doors, because they waiting on you when you walk through that door. The turnkey unlock that door. They waiting on you.
What is a turnkey? Tell them what a turnkey is.
Turnkey is one of the inmate guards who controls the ride gate and all the doors to the cell blocks and the dormitory.
Literally, see, that's what I forgot to say. That's what Larry's channel is about and why y'all need to go see this, because Texas actually had inmate guards, and that's what we're going to get into a little bit back then. When you got there and they're waiting on you, is it like a welcome to prison type of shit? You know what I'm saying? Or they're scaring the fuck out of you, or are they friendly? What's going on?
Now, they nothing to you. These guys wasn't no friendly, sociable dudes, so they don't say anything. But you, likewise, the major give you a little speech. No talking, get out all your clothes, and you do the spin around in the strip search and open your ass and bottom your feet and open your mouth and all that stuff. And from there, they take you to a desk and you just tell them what you want to do with your property from the county jail. You want to donate to the Salvation Army or mail it home. From there, you go to the barber, here, buck naked. He cuts all your off. From there, you go to the shower. You take a shower. After you come out of the shower, they spray you from head to toe with this stinking chemical stuff for lice and bed bugs and all that crap coming from these county jails. From that procedure, next you go in the hallway, then they take you to the commissary. And matter of fact, while you waiting at the commissary line, they tell everybody to line up in the hallway. They will bring you your new prison number on a little strip of paper. That's your prison number. They tell you don't lose that paper, and you better not forget that number. Because the rest of the time in prison, you're gonna have to use that number. You the only person in Texas prison system got that ID number. So after that, they tell you what area to go to, which diagnostics back then was small. It only had 4 cell blocks. For
wow.
On the other guys who was assigned to diagnostics, they were the laundry kitchen workers and inmate guards.
Hey, I mean, on them, it was only 4 cell blocks back then? Are you serious? The whole prison?
Yeah, that cell block. They added on to the diagnostic unit. It's huge now, but back then they only had 4 cell blocks.
When is the last time that you actually seen it yourself and went through there? Recently, like in the later years, after it got bigger, did you see it?
I've seen it since I've been out because I drove to Huntsville to the prison museum.
It's huge, man. They had a giant, big old cubicle dorms in there and stuff. I can't believe it was that small. So that's wild. So 14 prisons. Diagnostics was only 4 cell blocks. Holy shit. How many inmates were even in the system back then? Do you know?
It was a little less than 20,000.
20,000. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's crazy. And out of them 20,000, how many of them you think were lifers like you when you got there? Do you know?
What Texas give out a lot of life sentences, a lot of life sentences. So it's quite a few guys got life sentences. I mean, a whole tons of guys. When you find your prison unit, I, he seemed like everybody there had life sentences. A lot of life guys got 10,000 years, 5,000 years, 900 years. Guys there had a lot of time. No short.
Absolutely. So when you show up with your life sentence, it ain't even nothing special over there, huh, man? You're just another guy doing it.
They just days work at Texas Prison.
Damn, yeah. So I did a video about the roster from Beto One, man, and the first pages after pages of pages are the inmates are life without parole, life with parole. You know what I mean? And that's part of what I do too, Mr. Larry, is let these people know you'll be sitting in here with these men on a small number if you act stupid with these guys that never going home, and that's not what you want. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off track. Listen, you got there at 22. What was your first slap in the fucking face, man, where you knew, oh man, this sucks and I'm in prison? What was the real time where you just said, fuck, man, this sucks?
At the diagnostic unit, they separate you according to how many times you've been in prison. The cell block I lived on is all first offenders. They put all first offenders together. And these guys, some of them they came from a county like Dallas where these guys really lace you up. They'll have you prison ready when you get there. You'll be ready. Some of them guys come from counties where it's not hardcore like Dallas. Uh, my first taste of reality the morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning when they line us up, get ready to catch our buses. And got on the bus, these guys coming from bench warrant, coming from medical, and on the bus, and they didn't even put the shackles and all that. They didn't even do all that. You carried all your personal property on the bus with you. And talking to, I asked an old white guy on the bus, he was going back to East Ham. I could look at his prison clothes. He got his number, and his clothes look dingy looking. I got on brand new clothes because first come to Texas prison, they give you brand new clothes. Guys been in prison don't have brand new clothes. And I said, man, how is Sam? And he said, young, the worst thing you can do with East Ham is run your mouth. That's the worst thing you can do. He said, you first offender? I said, yeah. He said, well, they not going to beat you up. He said, they beat up guys who come getting transferred from disciplinary from other prisons. He said, you're not going to get beat up. He said, you know what a building tunnel turnkey is? I say, I got a general here. He said, well, don't mess with those. At them, don't roll your eyes at them, don't do none of that. Just look them off, and you'll be all right. And when the bus pulled into East Ham, I looked out the window, I saw all these guys standing there with no shirts on. These guys huge. Later on, I would get to know who all these guys were.
Were they black guys, white guys? Who were they? Mixed or what?
2 whites and 2 blacks.
2 whites and 2 blacks. All 4 of them big as hell?
All these guys look like Hercules. They ain't got no shirt on.
Wow.
He's some big guys. And it was an old major standing out there named Burst. And we got off the bus. And he walk up, he already read your record. He already know who you is. He just see how you going, what type of attitude you got.
Right.
Me, he didn't say nothing to me. He just walked by me and looked at the name on my clothes, looked at me, went to the next guy. Now, there was a young guy getting transferred there from Ferguson unit for disciplinary. He got over there to him. He said, what you get transferred to East Sam for? He already know. The guy said, They said I hit a sergeant on Ferguson. He say,
Oh wow.
hey, nigga, we don't hit sergeants on East Ham. He just stood there talking to him, and here these four building tenders come. They beat him down, beat him all up under the bus, stomped him. He got his introduction to the East Ham unit.
Wow. Right away, huh? Listen, when you're watching them stomp him out, are you just going, I'm just glad it's not me, man? That's all you can say.
You know, that old guy told me, said, you can see a lot of things happen. You don't look. You keep your eyes in front of you. You don't look. They had a rule, Sam, if you look, you in. That's
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We say it now, 2020. If you grin, you're in, right? That's the new way they say it. Listen, what? Say that again, man. What's that mean, rule though? You said it casually. Tell these people that's never been in prison. If you look, you're in. What the fuck's that mean, man? For real?
It means back then you had to mind your own business. In other words, they were saying if you look, that means you must want to be a part of it. You don't like what we doing, that's your homeboy, well, you involved too. And they just
Right.
immediately get.
If you watching them beat that man to death closely, you're next, right? Yeah, that's crazy. And you know that's something that I've had to deal with, Mr. Larry, Dr. Larry, when you're watching some shit erupt quickly and you don't even know what was happening, it's hard not to look and see what the hell's going on. But at the same time, you do know that's not your business and you kind of got to stay away. So that's something you got to learn too. Listen, when you got to East Ham, what was the first fucking person you seen zipped up in a body bag over there? How long did it take?
Uh,
Or
I
was
was,
it till the 80s when they started getting zipped up? That's what I wanted to. Were they like when the building centers were still there? Was inmates getting killed and zipped up, or was it, or were they just getting beat up by the building centers? That's what we don't know.
but basically, they were getting beat up by the building tenders. Now, occasionally, it'd be two regular guys getting a stabbing with each other because East Ham was a real violent prison and it's stabbings all the time among the inmates. But building tenders did the majority of killing.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you this bad, and I didn't get into it. You told me at East Ham, was it East Ham or Ramsey or somebody had a boxing ring, right? Was it in East Ham they had a boxing ring?
Yeah, the boxing at all of them, all the
All of them?
prisons. Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay, so literally you could call some man out, or you go tell the business attendant, man, I need to fight Tim Snow, man. I want to put them gloves on with him, and they'll come tell me and make me go fight you. How did that shit work? What would happen?
if you wanted to fight somebody that you sitting in the day room and we start having words, all we got to do is go up to the building and say, "Hey, we want to solve." They'll say fist
Fist or gloves? Really?
up the day room door and take you down at the end of the cell block, and you work that out.
Really? So and then bring you right back and sit you back down in front of the TV and let you chill?
Yep. You want a rematch? Go get you a rematch.
Oh man, for real. So they run that back. Listen, well, were there times when they just straight up said, "Nah, y'all can't fight right now. Sit down." Shit like that, or they let you go do it, huh?
They gonna let you do it.
I know they are. Men always gonna let you self destruct if you want to. That's just how it go. They gonna want to see the show too. Oh, the baddest building tender on East Ham. Who was he?
Quite a few bad ones over there. They always list Butch Ainsworth as the bad.
What
Now,
Ainsworth?
now they had Ray Bowler. They had Michael Hart. They had Felix Foster. They had oh, his name on J line, Sonny Evans.
Okay, hold on. I want to ask you something because listen, if y'all are watching this video and y'all don't catch what me and Dr. Larry are talking about, you better go subscribe to his channel because this shit's been going on for a while. And me and this guy, we got something happening here. Jerry Ray Bolden, Dr. Larry, you showed me a picture and told me about this fucking guy. He was an actual building tender. Did he run a block? What was he? What was he doing over there?
Yeah, he ran a block. He ran K line. Well,
Is
at
that
first,
white
yeah,
line?
it's a white. When I first got there, Butch Ainsworth was the head building tender on K line, but he got in a conflict with the major, and the major broke his jaw, and Jerry Ray Bolden was the head building tender.
The major broke Butch's jaw. I never heard that story. Are you serious? Burleson did?
And the old ass major was 76 years old. He broke his jaw.
Wow. See, that's fucking unbelievable. That's you're telling us a story nobody in Galveston. Listen, Butch Ainsworth, y'all, is one of the most famous convicts from Galveston. There's not even nobody close. Butch Ainsworth was a man that escaped out of Galveston County Jail, shot a sheriff, robbed everything, would do anything. Him and his escape partner both ended up on East Ham as building tenders, like Dr. Larry's talking about, and they were terrors. Like some of the stories, and that goes back to this how legit you are, Dr. Larry, because you remember when I brought you down here, you came and met me. Do you remember meeting my daddy the first time that you met my father?
Yes. He's working on the lawnmower.
What did I tell him? First thing I walked up and said, Dad, guess who Dr. Larry knows? Well, who did we say, man? Seriously.
Which Ainsworth?
I said, Butch fucking Ainsworth, man. And my daddy had the worst look on his face ever. Like, this is one of Butch Ainsworth's friends? And I'm like, nah, daddy, this ain't his friend. That's not what we're saying here. He knew the man, because my dad knew Butch and how that was. And Butch was a literal terror out here, small man. And you told me what Butch Ainsworth from Gal, what did he pack around in there, Dr. Larry?
About a 14-inch shank.
Well, had a big ass fucking bone crusher at all times, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah. Butch is notorious for being a building tender that liked to rape people. Real, he was the Texas booty bandit from Galveston. He liked to do it violently. He liked to make them fight back. Liked to hear them scream, stuff like that. When you got there, Dr. Larry, were there like I mean, this is my question. You said before, if a man was to discuss killing a building tender or doing something like that, he better discuss it with his best friend, somebody that he can trust, and because they'll come back and kill you. When you got there, did you ever hear any mumblings or rumblings from people like, man, we're about to kill these motherfuckers? Or was it always, they're too powerful, man?
It was dudes it was some violent guys at East Ham, so it would be discussed.
It would be discussed for real?
Yes.
Man, I wish it would have happened. Like, honest to God, if the entire prison would have just rose up and done it, what would have happened? How could they have done? What would have happened?
Well, see, the, time the building centers got other inmates who work for them, and those guys got guys who they building to the pump. They
Hold
sending
on. So I didn't. Hold on. I didn't know that. No, you didn't tell us that. You didn't explain that to us. Then what do you mean? So there's fucking building tenders running the block. Didn't they have their fucking people working for them on the block around y'all?
yeah,
So rats and snitches and eyes and ears around y'all?
yeah, it might fail with you. One of those guys might be your fail partner, so you got to watch what the hell you say. You got to use talking to a lot of guys over there got hurt just by running their damn mouth. Man, somebody get jumped every day for doing that. Every fucking day.
I believe it. I believe it. The first time you ever heard of a building tender getting attacked or anything, what was it? A fucking hit him with a can, stab him, and what happened to that man?
The first building tender I seen attacked, it was an Indian guy named Raymond Teshart. He's from Oklahoma. They had jumped him. They trying to make him out of a pump. He got hold to him a big fucking sword, and he stabbed one of them in the hallway and killed him.
Oh shit! He stabbed the tender. What they did? They kill him? What they do to him?
No, they did. Now the old wardens was like this. At that time, we had a warden. The warden at East Ham, Warden Savage, and he kind of respect a person who stand up. The old warden was different than present day warden. If you stood up for yourself, he damn near wouldn't let nothing happen to you, especially when he walk up on the scene. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you.
Really? That's cool.
Warden, so the warden can always say, I didn't see that. So you can never say the warden supervised you getting assaulted because he ain't gonna never be present. He always
Right.
show up after the fact.
He's smart enough to know what's going on. And let me tell you something that I've noticed by watching your channel. I've never heard you one time disrespect or talk bad about those old wardens. Never, not even once. Was there some bad ones? I mean, we know how they ran shit, but did you ever just see a raw dog, nasty ass warden that was evil?
During that time, in order to be a warden, they got most of them through the good old boy system. We all had a whole lot of relatives work in the prison system. All of them kidding each other. And
Oh,
it had to be vicious. It was about production, getting old crops in. Texas prison was self-supporting. So he got to be where he can manage all the inmates, make sure that all of them go to work and they produce. The whole disciplinary book in Texas was wrote up on work cases. It was a little thin book, had about 4 pages in it. That was the rule book. All concerned work.
really? Everything worked. Oh, that's fucking crazy. Slave shit. That sucks, man. It really does because they don't understand that. See, that was one thing these fucking guys in California. Salute to California. We go in on them all the time, but I don't think there's ever been a fucking time where they had to go work in no fields, do no slave shit, none of this shit that we've had to do down here, man. It's crazy. So listen, your first prison job, where'd you work at? In the fields?
First job, when you came to Texas prison back then, a buddy that was a inmate guard or a building attendant who go talk to the warden and say, hey, this is a good old boy. I believe he'll work good with us. You was going to the field. They needed field workers. They didn't
Right.
get laundry workers on that shit. They wanted field hands. All them
But
fucking
that
crops. Eastham has 14,000 acres. They got to have inmates work all them fields. That's a big prison.
I have another question about something that, like, I want to ask you the questions about shit that we just don't have no other way to ask. When you first got there, what was the food like, Mister Larry? Was it all pork like it is now, or was y'all actually getting beef, chicken, and stuff like that?
Well, there was only 2 prisons back then that didn't feed good food, and that was Eastham. Those
Oh
2 prisons
man,
did not feed good. Now later, I was at Eastham only 4 months, and I got transferred to the Ramsey unit. Now they fed like a restaurant at Ramsey unit. Food,
wow.
they put restaurants out of business. Those guys can cook.
What's the difference between that? It's the warden, right, and how he wants his food to be.
Everybody thinks, yeah, it's the legislature or it's the warden. All the warden
Hmm.
got to call the kitchen captain and say, hey, prepare this food, and it's gonna get did. No ifs
Hmm.
and
I have a good story about that. I'm gonna tell later, but I won't do it right now. Yeah, so literally your first 4 months, you're over there in East Ham working hard and starving, and they switch you to Ramsey, and it's like a motherfucking restaurant. How nice was that? It had to be a little bit better.
yeah, but it was a trade off. Ramsey worked way harder than Eastham, way harder.
Oh, so that's why they fed you better.
You sure know what slave plantation. Just like in Eastham, the guards didn't use racial terms. That was a racial unit ran by white inmates. But the guards, who were all white, they didn't use racial terms when we go out in the field. You
East
get the
Ham
rank,
didn't,
no, they never use racial terms.
and Ramsey talked to you like the KKK, right?
At Ramsey, everything they say to you is nigger in front of your name. Nigger Johnson, nigger Sanchez, nigger Martinez.
What was the fucking difference, man? I mean, was it the different part of Texas, just the war? I mean, what the fuck? Why would it be different like that? One place is like that, one's that don't even sound. That don't make sense.
Some of the main doing slavery so was around Houston, like the retreat criminals, Ramsey, all they
Oh, yeah, they're still with the old mentality like Angola. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make no sense. And listen, there are still places in East Texas and shit like that where them guards will say that type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like they might not say it like they did in the old days, but they're still thinking it and everything else. It's not fair. Here's another important question I wanted to ask you, and this is serious because we're doing this because listen, Dr. Larry, you said when you were in Dallas County, you got to getting laced up by the OGs, by the big homies and stuff like that. Well, honest to God, you've turned out to be the world's big homie, and I turned out to be one of them and stuff like that. So we're giving them the game. So I want to ask you this: after you left, when you had to catch chain from Eastham, you've been there 4 months on a life sentence, only 4. When you showed up to Ramsey, how did they approach you at Ramsey? Did they say, where you from? Here's a Dallas guy, or who are you? Was it suspicious? How was it like your first transfer to another prison? How did it go? And was it scary?
When I get to, I met he was back old violation, and he knew me from outside and the county jail. And I didn't get beat up. That was unusual. It was the same process at Ramsey. They had the guys waiting on me, but I didn't get jumped.
So you weren't on a disciplinary transfer, so they didn't do it to you?
Now, because I had filed a lawsuit at Eastham. Back then, they was only afraid of 2 types of people: ones who litigate and a guy who they thought was insane.
Oh, okay.
Both of them, because at Eastham, they didn't put me in solitary so much time, and the shit didn't work on me. They had me listen crazy and an inmate who will file a lawsuit, so I didn't get jumped. They just talked shit to me. I went and saw the warden in the field mate. He just talked. I didn't get jumped.
So, Dr. Larry, you had to do that old solitary in Texas, that old school shit, that real solitary?
It was a teaspoon of beans, a teaspoon of carrot, maybe a teaspoon of beef twice a day, 15 days. You go in there with 225.
Hold on. What? How much food? A teaspoon, like a spoon, like teaspoon? You getting 3 teaspoons a day? Oh my God. How much weight do you lose in 15 days in that?
You gonna lose if you're not used to it. If you ain't never been before, you gonna drop by 30 pounds easy.
Oh my God. And then listen, your first day out of there dropping 30 pounds, do you have to go back to the field and work your ass off?
You go to work the next day.
Oh my God. Tell me, how did that feel, Dr. Lee? Your first time losing this fucking weight. And you're not a fat man, and I don't think you ever were. You lost weight still being a slim man, huh?
Yeah. Well, once I went in solitary, they gave me I didn't speak on this. My second week at Ramsey, I hit the field captain with an agate out there in the field and knocked him off the horse.
What? Oh my God. No, I didn't even know that. So your second week, you hit the motherfucking boss. Why? What'd he do to you?
Well, I had got in a fight, and I thought the guy gonna pull a weapon on me, so I pulled my. And Captain Dad rolled up, named Captain Turner. He rolled up and said, "Hey, nigga, drop that agate." The other guy didn't drop his, so I didn't drop mine. I thought he had shot me. We was working in we pulled out of thorns and shit. One of them thorns that hit me in the leg. I thought I was shot. So I say, "The hell with this shit. I ain't gonna just stand here and let this son of a bitch kill me and I don't fight back." So I run on up to that horse and knocked his ass off that horse.
Oh wow. What the fuck happened? Like right then. Everybody come charging you with these fucking line bosses? What happened?
They all started shooting. Bullet holes went through my damn shirt. Not one of them hit me. Shot through my damn shirt. And now
Are you serious?
The water boys who work out the field, who bring the guards their water and bring us our water, one of them got an axe handle off the water wagon and he ran over. So I got an egg and he got an axe handle. Me and him started fighting.
Oh my God. Hey, I'm here. Listen, an Aggie is long and takes a while to swing. He got an axe handle, he can move fast. Did he get you with that axe handle? Did you feel it?
No, I was young and quick. He couldn't get.
He couldn't get close enough.
He couldn't get.
Ah man, I bet that was some shit out there, man. God, he realized he fucked up running up that axe handle, huh, man?
Later on, about 2 years later, I got his ass back.
Did you, same guy?
I got him back. This time I got him with an axe handle and he had an agate. but he was working. He had lost his job, and they put him in one hole with us. He was working, and I asked old Lord for an axe handle.
You asked for old Lord for an axe handle? Just cold asked him for he knew what was happening, right?
He don't give a shit. He know you ain't gonna hit him with it. He got a 12 gauge and a 45.
Right.
He ain't worried about you. So
You gonna wait to see what you.
Water boy brought him an axe handle. He threw it over there on the ground to me. While this guy named was Willie Bell, while he was sidelining, chopping cotton, I come up behind that axe handle and I wore his ass out.
Say, man, that's awesome. But listen, that's how it's gonna go too, and you better pay attention in prison. You fucked some man over 2 years ago. He got his chance today. He's coming to get you. You know what I mean? And you just did that. That's well, Willie Bell. Fuck Willie Bell. He got that then. Oh, check this out. When you first got down there, how many men did you see brave enough just to lay it down in the field and say, fuck this field in the 70s? Would they do that back then?
They would do it at Eastham, but they wouldn't do it at Ramsey. They'd kill you at Ramsey.
No shit.
You quit working out in the field, you a dead man.
Oh, man. God damn.
The field boss, he had, oh, Lord, I feel sorry for you. You tell, oh, Lord, you're not going to work. He just going to shoot you on the spot.
Well, listen, something about your channel that has actually become so fucking special is, oh, Lord, this motherfucking man is amazing. And we'll talk about him just a little, Dr. Larry, but I don't want you to give too much oh, Lord on my channel at all, because that's you, man, and that's fucking something. Who was oh, Lord? Tell him who this man was.
Well, he was a field boss. He's been working for the Texas prison system since the 1920s. He had worked there 52 years. And it was hard to get over on this old man. He know all the tricks. But man, ways, the man was fair. Like one Christmas, he took our whole work squad to commissary and bought us $30 each for Christmas.
Really?
He wouldn't bother you if you worked. You work, you have no problem out of this man. When you pull out bullshit, you finna get fucked up by him. He ain't gonna cut you no.
You told us on your channel when old Lord showed up, he gave y'all a speech. Tell me what the fuck he told y'all, and then we'll move on. And I need every motherfucking y'all to go subscribe and listen to this old Lord shit. What did old Lord tell y'all when he showed up?
Well, guys had warned me earlier. They knew him from another prison. They said, "Hey man, we fucked up field boss now. Don't give him no problem. This old man will kill you. Don't give him no problem." They know I was young. I'm the youngest man in the whole squad. Is me. And
were you the youngest man even on East Ham?
I was the youngest.
I think so. Damn.
I still was young, but he still had a couple young guys. But in one hole, I was the youngest guy in one hole. All these guys were old guys, been locked up a long time. You guys been locked up a long time.
Well, that's another one I wanted to ask you, Dr. Larry. When you got there, who was the most time? Like, who was the big convict other than, the building tenders? But, like, who did you respect and look up to? Who was Dr. Larry's big homie? Did you have one? I know you did.
I had an old man we called
Mr. Forbes.
He ended up serving 2 years.
Was he on a murder case, or what was he on back then?
He had a murder case, but he was actually innocent of the crime. He got declared actually innocent. He served 52 years.
Wow. Did he get freed and cleared at the end, or no?
Yeah, he got freed and cleared, but he didn't last but a minute. They gave him a couple $1 million, but he died.
Damn, man. That sucks, man. Rest in peace, Mr. Forbes. So when you got there, was he like, since he had so much time, was he kind of like, get away from me, youngster, man? Or was he like, come here, youngster, I'm about to teach you?
Now, one day, I came in from work, and I had a fight out in the field, and he had sent me to the major's office. So I was standing in the hallway waiting to go see the major, and my nose bleed real easy. I had won the fight, but my nose bleed real easy. And I had an ice pack. It was on my shirt. Even after I come out the shower, it still was blood on my shirt. And when I made it to the Ramsey didn't have day room. Ramsey's real old prisons, no day room at Ramsey. Right in front of the cell blocks, the run, that's the day room. That's where the TV, the weight, the boxing glove, punching bag, and all
Oh, they
that.
had tables out. Would they have tables out there on the run and stuff too?
Yeah, that table.
So literally, the run was the day room.
Yeah, wasn't no day room
Wow.
at Ramsey.
I'll be damned.
I'm just sitting there in the day room, and he came sit by me. He said, "Damn, young, you fight all the time. Every time I see you, you fight, man." He said, "You want me to teach you how not to never lose a fight?" I'm listening at this old man. I said, "What the fuck this old man talking about?" And yes, me say, "You have leather gloves?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Go to your cell and get them." At doing that, they didn't have a craft shop at Ramsey. You have all your craft goods in your cell. You had sharp ass leather knives, hammers, sewing machine, got all that shit in your cell. So you had an instant weapon if you want to stab somebody. He went and I went and got in these leather riding gloves. And he cut it off, took the thread out, and put a pouch out of it. He asked me to put my fist on a piece of paper, and he measured. He put it inside those gloves.
He was that cold there? He measured your hand out and everything?
And later on that night, I was sitting there watching the news, and he came and gave me those gloves. He said, "Check them out when you get in your cell." And I got in the cell and looked, and he was right. I didn't even think about losing with that iron. All I got to do is put that iron on your ass, and it's a wrap.
Oh my God. So listen, you say so you had some homemade brass knuckles in the penitentiary is what you had, huh?
Yeah, this old man here know every trick it is. He taught me all the gambling tricks, how to cheat, how to win on a football parlay, how to win on a football board. He know all the tricks and prison. This man got good psychology. He can look at a guy. When he tells you about this guy, the old man be right every time. Your body language, everything, tell him everything he need to know about. And he wasn't no social. He gonna sit there and watch a movie or something. He gonna have his wine, cause at Ramsey you could drink wine. The warden didn't give a shit. Wildcat, he didn't care. As long as you go to work, you could drink wine right in front of the warden. And they sell it in the chow hall. The warden is standing right there. You go over there and buy you a pitcher of ice cold home brew and drink it right.
Really?
You don't say nothing.
I'll be damned, man. You gotta let a man relax a little bit and do his time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so listen, you went from East Ham to Ramsey. Where was your next prison that you went to?
Back
You remember? Back to East Ham. What the fuck was that mentally like? Where you're like, hold up, man, I'm going back over here. Was it a mental fuck, or was you ready, or what happened? How'd it feel?
Well, I'm prison hard then, so I could deal with them. I done went through Ramsey, which building tunnels at Ramsey, the inmate guards there were totally different from East Ham. At East Ham, the inmate guards use weapons. At Ramsey, they just use their fists. They got weapons, but they never use it. I ain't never seen an inmate get hit in the head with an iron pipe at Ramsey.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, let me ask you something else. How long do you think personally? Okay, now if I ask a man that did 10 this, his answer is going to be different. Ask a man 20. Ask a man 42. How long do you think it usually takes a man till you consider him a full blast fucking convict where he knows what he knows, all those tricks and shit? People might never reach that, or what? I don't know.
It all depends on how you do your time. I started my time out as being a fuck up. Some guys start their time out as being a model inmate. So it's totally different. Depends on how you do your time. I know when East Ham, they had no problem. Which I ain't never got jumped by inmate guards at East jump. I never got jumped.
Right.
I've been jumped.
Me too. Most times, every time something happened, they usually jumped on me. Man, they didn't give me no fair chance. But that's how shit goes too. Not a fair world we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?